What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. I hope you guys are doing well. I've been seeing a lot of gameplay from XDefiant. Now, personally, I haven't been able to play it yet, but I look forward to the day I can play it because it looks like a really fun game. And the beauty of XDefiant is I think it is coming in at the perfect time to really create some waves within this marketplace. I think that the FPS genre needs an XDefiant to really stir the pot a little, wake up these other developers a bit. Because I think if XDefiant succeeds, and honestly I think it will, based on the small little sample size we have so far of just their beta and the way they're doing right by their community, I feel they are thriving in the opportunity to really steal market share from these bigger developers. Now let's look back at who their competition truly is. You know, you've got Halo Infinite, which is a game that was massively underwhelming when it launched and still really hasn't gotten true tracking yet, almost a year and a half into its life cycle. You have Battlefield 2042, also a year and a half into its life cycle, finally getting its grounding and it's finally tracking upward. But to be honest, it was a little rough for a while. It seemed that EA once again pushed a game out before it was ready. Stop me if you've heard that before. And then, of course, you have the Call of Duty scene, which frankly has not released a good game in quite some time. I would argue maybe Black Ops 4 was the last time we had a truly good Call of Duty game, despite my personal opinions on that game. But all in all, it seems like a perfect opportunity for a new competitor to come in and thrive. Because for so long, this marketplace has been dominated by those three titles. For so long, people have been mostly playing Battlefield or Call of Duty or Halo if you're a console player, right? So now XDefiant comes in and they say, hey, we're from a rival developer in Ubisoft. We're creating some waves. We have some former developers from other games that have worked on in this. Wow, I screwed that sentence up so horribly. Let me restart. We have some developers that worked on these rivaling games that we are going to war with in this marketplace, and it is up to us to deliver an experience to this community. And I think it's the fact that XDefiant seems to actually want to do right by the community that it's going to thrive, it's going to survive, it's going to do well, because the best way to get people on your side is to listen to them. If you've ever worked in customer service and you have somebody that's yelling at you or giving you a hard time, the best way to serve that customer is to listen to them and say, you've been heard and this is the action plan, this is how we're going to solve it. And I feel that XDefiant is doing that. I feel they're taking the feedback from the community and they're actually going to apply it to the game to make it better. And we haven't been seeing that from Call of Duty for quite some time. We haven't seen that at launch from Battlefield for quite some time. And Halo is just itself right now. I don't even know what to say about that game or the franchise right now because it seems like it's fallen off drastically over the last few years, and it's disappointing because I had high hopes for Halo Infinite. But this video isn't about Halo Infinite, it's about XDefiant and its opportunity to truly grab the first-person marketplace right now. And something that I've talked a lot about on this channel is potential. And I see it with XDefiant. With every game that I watch of that project, I am reassured that they are doing right by what a first-person shooter game should look and feel like. And that's one of the things that has been missing from Call of Duty lately, is it doesn't feel like I'm playing Call of Duty. It feels like I'm playing a different game. When I went and played Halo Infinite, it didn't feel like I was playing the classic Halo 3 that I was used to. Heck, even when I've played Battlefield, sometimes it doesn't feel like Battlefield, and that's the problem. When I look at XDefiant, it has that look and feel of what a real #1 shooter should look like. And for me, this is everything this community needs. This has been everything that we've been asking for. And the best part is if XDefiant absolutely steps the game up and they steal market share and they get the numbers that we all expect them to get, it is going to make every other developer and publisher have to step their game up immediately. Like if XDefiant launches and it crushes Call of Duty in viewership numbers, if it crushes Call of Duty in just total play hours, it's going to make Call of Duty really have to rethink their strategy because they're going to lose a lot of market share because they've been coasting. And that's what's been happening in this market for so long, is all of these big publishers have been coasting for the last few years just off name recognition because no one has truly come in and been a real competitor. Honestly, I thought Titanfall had a really good opportunity, but it was completely ruined by how EA decided to release Titanfall 2. If Titanfall 2 was released 3 months later or 2 months earlier, it would have crushed. And I really do believe that because I even go back and play Titanfall 2 today, and it is a beautiful game. It is so great. It is really disappointing that we're not getting a third Titanfall game, or at least nothing's been announced yet, because I really feel that Titanfall once again could be another competitor in this marketplace and really do well by the community because it's made with passion. And that's all we're asking for from the developers here, is make projects with passion instead of following algorithms. Follow what your community is saying. Instead of resorting solely to what your shareholders want, look to what your community wants. And that is how you're going to determine the success of a game. Because right now, I look at this marketplace and it is ripe for the taking. This is an opportunity for a competitor to come in and really put a dent in these massive publishers and to really state their claim to this community. Because if you turn people onto XDefiant and you tell them, hey, this is the game, this is the expectation, this is what we're going to do for the community, you might turn people into huge fanboys that aren't going to turn on your game at any point in time. They're going to be loyal customers through and through, because that's what's happened with Call of Duty. People are loyal to a fault with that game. But if you become the new game on the block that can bring in the casual players, that can bring in the hardcore players, and you are able to maintain them and keep them, you're going to crush these other competitors. And guess what happens when good competition enters the marketplace? Everybody else has to step up their game or they're going to crumble. And I am very excited to see what 343 does for Halo. I'm very excited to see what Battlefield and EA do and what Call of Duty does on the Activision side. Because this is a defining moment for this marketplace. When XDefiant launches, that is going to be one of the most telling moments in this entire life cycle of Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Halo duking it out, because it's going to be a massive deal to everybody. Especially the fact that it's going to be free to play is just another little jab to these other games that aren't. I think that we have a real opportunity to have the true Call of Duty killer on our hands, the true Battlefield killer on our hands, and I couldn't be more happier. We as a community have deserved this for so long. We have endured some of the worst games, some of the most manipulation from corporations, and the fact that somebody is finally stepping up and saying, we're going to do right by this community, we see the value in this community, just feels good, man. I haven't played it yet, but man, am I looking forward to having the opportunity to play it, because I can assure you, I'm going to grind the hell out of this game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I love the fact that they are updating consistently. I love the fact that the developers are transparent with their community. And all in all, I'm just looking forward to what we're going to get in the future for XDefiant. And the next 12 months are going to be fascinating for this entire marketplace. And I, for one, am excited. So I'd love to hear from you guys down below in that comment section. Let me know what you think about the potential for XDefiant. Is it going to be a great game? Is it going to fall short? Do you think that its success will force these other game developers to actually improve on what they're doing? Or do you think they're just so complacent that they're just going to stay the course and hope that their name recognition alone trumps this new competition? But that's all the time I have for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.